As you can tell, I just can't be dealing with hiding my microphone. You're all filmmakers. Also, this room is like super echoey. So anyway, here's my mic. I'm back after a small break. I moved house, I moved to London, so my whole backdrop just looks way better now. So today I want to talk about how you can make amazing music videos on a small budget. It is no secret that music videos and the music industry in general doesn't have a lot of money circulating in it. So when you're approached by indie artists or even slightly bigger artists that just don't have the budget for a massive flashy video, it's always good practice to look into how to make something creative, reflective of their work and their style, but also cost efficient. So I've got a long history of making music videos for small indie artists, and what it's taught me is that creativity will be the most important thing when you're working. So when I first started out, I did music videos as collaborations because I knew that's what I wanted to get into, and I knew that I wanted to make something visual, creative, and fun. So throughout the years of making these music videos, I've developed my own little process that I'm going to share with you today. And this is going to level your work up to the max without even increasing the budget. So when I get an artist that contacts me, I will research them. I will look on their Instagram, mostly Instagram, it's all very visual. But nowadays you've got things like TikTok, and you've got their website, and you've got their management website, if they have a management. And I do a lot of research. What are their vibes? What sort of image are they portraying? What are their other videos like, if any? That's the first thing I'll do. And then I listen to the song that they want to make a video for. I'm the type of person to listen more to vibes and lyrics. That's what I look for in music, and that's the sort of music I enjoy listening to. Is it telling a story? And if so, what is the story? Is it creating a vibe? And if so, what vibe is it creating? What sort of sounds are used? Is it haunting? Is it poppy? Is it badass? And what sort of image are they trying to go for? Again, this goes back to the artist research. What image are they trying to go for? It's nice to like note all this down, keep all these in mind. And then when you go into the meeting with the artist about specifically what they want from the video, you've already got a very strong starting point, and it will help you to be on their level and on their page the minute you walk into that meeting. So once you've got the vibe and the lyrics for the song all in your head, all clear, you've spoken to the artist, now it's time to come up with ideas. So I'm going to use this video as an example. So this is Colourful by Piano. This is probably the most fun video I've ever done. I did it as a collaboration. I did it back in 2018, and I got pretty much full free reign for the creative side of the video. So what he told me was that Colourful was a song that he wrote to kind of portray how he felt growing up from a conservative point of view. His family, his home country, his culture, they're all very different to how he felt inside. And he just felt this desire to kind of break free of any sort of expectations and just do what he wanted to do. So Colourful was basically that, just be you, be who you want to be. He was so open to all this creative ideas. So when I took the song, which is very upbeat and fun, and the title and the lyrics and the sound, in my head it was a no-brainer that there was going to be a lot of colour in this video, but I didn't want it to stop there. I wanted some more meaning to go into it. So then what I started to do was looking to the themes, feeling trapped, feeling tied down, like you can't really explore yourself. Let's focus on tied down. When I was doing my research, I found a video called Don't Look at Me Like That, I think it's called in English, by a singer called Song Jian. And basically what she had was really amazing scenes where she's got chains on her hands and the chains are coming up from the camera lens. Beautiful depth of field, beautiful imagery as well. And I wanted to recreate that, but I wanted to recreate that with colourful string to fit in with the theme of colourful. And the idea was that he would just have this string on, and obviously he's all tied up, he's like, he can't break free, you know, very, very symbolic. It was just going to be like that for the whole video. But meeting him on set, watching him perform, he's got so much energy. There was no way those strings were going to stay there. And after a while, those strings just came off. They stayed on his hands, but they were all wrapped around him, which I thought was actually quite beautiful. And I encouraged that. The way I see it is the more he moves around and the more he tries to prove to himself that he can be who he wants to be, and the more he tries to break free of these strings, the more they're actually tying him up in different ways. There's almost an essence of you're never really free, but you feel like you are. So then what does it come down to? Does it come to the fact that you're actually free, or do you just want to be free enough to be happy? Anyone with total, complete freedom, they're not happy. So I thought that was quite nice, not to toot my own horn. How I got into that with a small budget was I took an idea that I saw from another video with a similar sort of theme and applied it to the vibe that we were going for. I even made a big backdrop and I just stuck so much string on it. I just wanted it to look absolutely crazy, absolutely mental. So let's go back to research. When I research a video, I look through Pinterest and loads of stock video sites. I watch a lot of films. I've got like a mental bank of things in my head. So like if I see a theme that I want to explore, automatically something pops up in my head. But if not, I will go through other music videos, different artists of different means, people like Anthony Gormley, James Turrell, people like that. I will look into their work, and 9 times out of 10 it will inspire me. Like, don't limit yourself to just music and just music videos. Just because you're making a music video doesn't mean that's where your inspiration has to come from. You can even find it in architecture. Like, you can even look at something like this behind me and get an idea for lighting. Like, imagine if I put a light behind these blinds and I've got this cool slit effect, like film noir. There's inspiration everywhere you look. You just need to know that you're looking for it and always be on the ball with that. That's probably one of the most exhausting thing about being a creator, is that you're always on the ball, always looking for inspiration. It's fun, but it's tiring. So when you are looking into your inspiration and the ideas, always think to the back of your mind, how can I put a twist on this? How can I do something different with this, and how can I do it cheaply? So in my case, I was looking at the chains in the music video, and immediately I knew I could get string for like £1, £2, whatever. Or in this case here, I looked at this video as inspiration, and what I loved about this video was that not only was it visually striking, but it gave a lot of different options. And you need to remember that music videos always need to have a lot of options with the shots. Usually there needs to be quite a lot of different cuts to cut to, way more than film. And what I love about this set is that it gives you that. It gives you the option to go in really tight on the string, get some beautiful depth of field with the character behind it. It gives some amazing options to go low, to go high, to go far, to go tight, and it's beautiful, bold colours. Not only that, it also gives you the option to have really interesting lighting effects. So in this case, they've used sun rays coming through the string, and it just looks really dreamy and beautiful. But another way to go about this is to have shadows, like harsh shadows on the face, to give a Cajun feeling, a bit more intimidating and gritty. Or maybe you can just keep it dreamy and soft with minimal shadowing. And lastly, what I love about it is that for the character in the scene, there's a lot of different options on how she can go about walking through this set. She can just walk through it, but there are a lot of things you can do. You can touch it, you can go underneath it, you can cut it up in the scene, you can rip it open. There's so many different things you can do with it, just depending on what vibe you're going for. So things like this, very practical effects and practical setups, are amazing for options and diversity within a scene or between scenes. So in my case, I looked at this and I came up with this. It's exactly the same thing, and I've definitely expanded on this idea because this is just one scene in one video, whereas I did this for the whole video, so I needed to expand on it, but it's the same basis. The main difference, which you can see, is that this one is cling film. About 50 rolls of cling film was used to make this set. I don't know what I was thinking. What's great with cling film is that you have even more options. You can shoot through it, you can shoot behind it, you can have water on it and make some lighting effects with the water on the cling film. Silhouettes, shadows, ripping it up. As you can tell, I've got a lot of anger in me just ripping stuff up. But then you can also make little huts out of it and little hidey holes like we did in this video here, and just crawling through the cling film. You can drape it over things. You can let it move in the wind, which gives it a very haunting feel. Again, anything you do with the props in your scene have to be very deliberate because they will give a very different vibe. In music videos, we don't have sound effects, we don't have soundscape to rely on, and we don't have dialogue. And for that reason, the visuals will hold a stronger force in the vibe of the video. So the visuals have to be very deliberate. The color scheme has to be deliberate. What's happening in the scene has to be deliberate. The way things are shot, very deliberate. And even cutaways and B-roll. Speaking of cutaways and B-roll, this is another amazing way to get a low budget video to look that much better. People usually skip this step because it's not something that you consciously think about. You think music video, you think someone performing to camera. 9 times out of 10, there's always someone sat there with some sort of neon lighting and just performing to the camera, which is great for part of an idea. I wouldn't say that would be strong enough for a whole idea because you want this to be visual, memorable. So what I like to do is film B-rolls and cutaways, which is what I've done for this video here. The brief for this video was sensual, very focused on touch, very focused on close-ups and breathing and things like that, almost climatic at some point. And I thought a great way to do that was to show up body parts and a snake, because we all know the connotations of a snake. So I've got little things like that that are visually interesting and tie in with the theme. Never skip cutaways and B-roll. You never know when you're going to need them, and if you have them there, your video is just going to look so much better. And this definitely brings you back to using cheap materials effectively, using string, paint, cling film, just things that you find out and about. You can even use windows to an extent. Spray some water on it and film through it, put some coloured lights in there, silhouette it, use it for a lighting effect. Just go crazy. I fully recommend you just pick up your phone, I'm assuming you've got a camera phone, and just go out and about and just test different things. You never know what you're going to come up with when you do that. And another way to experiment with cool visuals on a low budget is definitely practice editing techniques, because that is what's going to pull the video together. I've got a very distinct editing style. It's all very trippy, very dark and very glitchy, I guess, but I fully developed that style through trial and error. I used to sit at home and just edit. I figured out my style without even consciously thinking about it. So I highly recommend that you just practice. Just do whatever you want, whenever you want. Don't think about it, just do it. And trust me, you'll get so many ideas that way. Your skill set will improve vastly. And I'm going to be coming back to this point quite a lot, but be creative. Use your limitations to your advantage. Use your limitations to really think outside the box. Okay, so you've only got a camera and a tripod. What can you do with that? Well, this shot here was shot on a camera and a tripod. And so was this shot. We didn't take it off at all. But then if we did take it off, we combined these two shots together to get a very interesting effect, stable versus chaotic. So there's definitely ways you can go about thinking outside the box and being creative with the limitations that you've got. So I strongly encourage that you're not put off by your limitations, because if you can be creative with just the camera, then imagine what you can do with a full set of equipment when you finally get there. And finally, just don't be afraid of trying something new and crazy. As long as you're up in front with your client from the very beginning that your budget is not going to get you something swanky, slick. You need to set up expectations so that they're not expecting drone footage. They're not expecting a studio with full lighting and cameras. Amazing way of doing this is definitely to mood board. Take into account everything that they want to do, everything that they're about. Take into account the song, the lyrics, and all the visuals that you're trying to think of. Put it all into a mood board. Make sure you're both on the same page so that you're both getting out of it what you need to get out of it. You want your client to be happy at the end of the day. If you're on the same page every single step of the way, this is going to be a great project and you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope that this helped. If you're trying to make a music video, whether you're an artist, a music video director, or you just want to do something for fun, I hope this helped. Let me know of any creative ideas that you can do whilst making a music video, be it ink tanks, be it paint, be it set design, anything like that. I'm always interested to hear some stories and some recommendations, so comment below with some creative ideas that you've done for music videos before, and yeah, until next time, peace out.